Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. You ready to do this? Well, welcome everybody to the show. I'm Bill, and welcome to the show. Today we're gonna discuss the case against government intrusion into the economy, and the case against big government in general. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to start, though, with some basic economic principles that really you have to use as the measuring stick. If you get into ideologies and, political platforms, it can get, it's not a fun argument to have, and it just, people get really closed-minded. So you really have to have some objective kind of metric. And what we're going to use here is you can see in my trusty visual aid. I'm going to grab my magic wand here, and it's a marginal cost and marginal benefit, a graph depicting marginal cost and marginal benefit. The easiest way to explain it, actually, let's start with who is this crackpot and why does he have a piece of cardboard hanging on the wall? And the reason can be explained within this graph, although if you were to ask my wife, she would just say I'm cheap. But the reason is the benefit of using a graph outweighs the cost, and that's why I used the cardboard. And if I could have got a dry erase board, but according to my information, my judgment personally, the cost outweighed the benefit. I could have got a second piece of box of cardboard, but because I didn't, we can assume that the cost exceeded the benefit at that point. And so that's the key. It's simple cost-benefit analysis. And the key is to get to this point, right here in the center, called economic efficiency, this point of equilibrium where the two lines intersect. Because at this point, we maximize all this benefit. Our benefit becomes all this large triangle here. We maximize total benefits, and we minimize costs. And that's what you want to do. If you're making a decision on employment, on work, what you're going to eat for lunch, on anything. Business firms, this is the basic cost-benefit analysis. And for government, if we're going to judge government, we have to hold it to the same standard of economic efficiency. So the question is, government, obviously we need some, because some is beneficial. But it comes a point where the costs exceed the benefit. And you have to ask yourself, look at it in the aggregate, total cost, total benefit. Does government provide more benefit than it does for total cost? And I think, personally, most people would agree that the benefits of government are far exceeded by their total costs, or the costs are way higher than benefits on the aggregate total. If that's true, then that means we've gone way off the charts here, because all this cost has eaten up all this benefit that we would have had if government would have stopped at equilibrium. And so, we could be way off the charts. And obviously you can argue, and the trick is to get the right information, figure out long-term costs, and both short-term and long-term benefits, real benefits. And the trick is key information, that, as it is with anything in the free economy, especially important decisions. And you have to be careful. Most politicians are really good snake oil salesmen, and it takes one to know one. But with that, let's go to our guests. Our producers have a surprise guest for us today, live via telecast. Someone from the Austrian school, an Austrian economist, going to talk to us a little more about governments and free markets. So with that, let's go to our guest.
Hello, Bill. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Let me tell you, government intervention is horrible. It should be terminated. You see, there's so much power in the free market. It regulates itself. All government does is spend, spend, spend. And then they have to tax. And so, there's nothing that equals the power of the free market. Unless, of course, you ever saw me when I was in competition.
I'm sorry, Arnold. how do I ask this without questioning your credibility to the very core? What exactly is your tie to the Austrian School of Economics?
Well, you see, Bill, I was born in Austria, and I go to school in Austria, so I am Austrian. Also, of course, I get degree in economics from the University of Wisconsin, so that means I am Austrian economist. I don't see what the problem is.